I like that one. What's up?
What's up, man?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. We're gonna hit a few balls, talk about some golf. All right, we are here at Panther National with Justin Thomas.
About this temperature today.
It's a little chilly. I feel like every time I'm here, it's 90 degrees. Oh, it's getting limber.
It takes me a lot longer to loosen up than it used to.
We're gonna do a little warm up, a little range session.
Okay.
Show the people how you get ready to take all the other guys' money.
Okay.
Sounds good to you?
Yeah.
So when you're warming up for a tournament, say you have a 9 a.m. tee time.
Okay.
What time will you pull up to the golf course? What's the routine look like before the round starts?
Oh, probably get to the course around, let's see, I always work backwards. I would start my golf warm up at about 7:45. 7:45 if I gotta eat, so that'd probably, whatever, eat around 7:15, 7:20, see Fizzy. I'm probably getting to the course at like 6:45.
So 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably, 2.5, something like that, I'd say.
And you'll wake up like a half hour, 40 minutes before that?
Well, it depends how long it takes to get to the course.
Yeah.
So
that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not staying like right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it'd be probably, I would say normal, it'd be, yeah, let's say like call it a normal 15-minute drive. Yeah, it'd be a 5:45, 6 a.m. wake up.
So if it's a 7 a.m. tee time, you're up.
It sucks.
Yeah.
That's the only way to say it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ryder Cup this year was my first ever alarm was in the threes.
Yeah.
Like I had I think it was like a 340 alarm. It hurt so bad to set.
So like when I have a crazy early alarm like that, I find it harder to sleep because I'm like counting all the hours I'm
Every
losing.
time you wake up, you think you've overslept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
happens.
about right.
That's exactly right.
And then you start with the wedges. We usually have like a TrackMan out here. Or are you just trying to get your body warm?
Yeah, I mean, by normal situations, not today, I would be, I'd kind of already seen physio and done some kind of warm up in the gym to where I'm looser. But yeah, I'll have TrackMan up and to where I'm just kind of hitting numbers type thing. I'm not looking at any kind of, not like looking at club path or stuff like that. I'm trying to, just kind of get like feels of, start out hitting my 60-yard shot with the lob wedge and then kind of work my way up. I'll hit all my wedges. I'll generally hit pretty much everything under a 9 or an 8 iron, and then from there I'll hit I'll either do evens or odds. And then
have you always warmed up like in the gym before playing? Like, because you're obviously younger than Tiger. These guys started really working on their bodies, but I'm wondering if it's always been a thing or if it's been kind of more recently.
I mean, I've done some kind of active warm up probably, since 2017 or so. It could be as little as 5 minutes or it could be as much as 40 minutes or 30 minutes. It's just kind of like it probably takes me 15 or so minutes more now than it did when I was 24, but of just kind of little things that, whether it's like a physio will see on the table of like, hey, this isn't really working today. Let's maybe do some things to kind of get that going or whatever it may be.
Did you have a role in designing this range?
Yes, yeah, the range was I would say what I had the most say in. I mean, I like to practice probably more than play, and I don't know how to design a golf course. Not that I know how to design a range too, but I know what makes a good range or
just
facility.
From being out there being like, I love that at Muirfield they have this, and I don't like that at this place they don't have this.
Yeah, and it's in the sense of it, you don't have to necessarily get into as much of like the little things of, a golf course. It's like the routing, it needs to, kind of go this way.
Drainage.
Has to, all that stuff versus it's like, hey, this is what it is. And like I love the idea of a fairway. I think having a fairway to where, I can hit from the dead center here and it's dead straight, or I can come over here to where it's like a dogleg left, other side right. These little targets of, they're very, very small greens it's more training than I would call it a range. I love coming back here and it feels like I can kind of get in my own little world. And I mean, the facilities here are incredible. I feel like I can do anything I want. Yeah. So it's great.
So you hit a lot of balls to these little wedge ranges,
Definitely.
These wedge greens.
Yeah, I would kind of call this more of like a loosening up target. And this is more of like if I'm doing something more drill oriented of like, hey, I'm trying to see, I mean, you can see those are probably about half the size of these. This is probably more of kind of like maybe a PGA Tour leader size green from those distances kind of thing.
So if you're hitting those greens consistently, your wedges are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm hitting, I mean, obviously if I'm going to the back of this range, it's a little different, but if I'm, call it a 50 to 75 or kind of, yeah, something 75 to 100, if I'm hitting that, I mean, every putt I have is going to be inside of 6-8 feet.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that'll get it done.
All right, how long is it going to take me to loosen up today?
So people often ask me, who's your favorite guy to watch hit wedges, and I always say you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. What would, I know obviously it's everyone's body's different, but if you were to give people sort of one takeaway with the wedges, what would it be?
I would say tempo is very important. I would say finding something that's consistent. I think that's at least what I try to do. Is I've always hit wedges of trying to feel like I take it back as short as I can to hit it that distance. That's just how I felt it. I'm not a clock guy. I don't really, I've just never really been that way.
So if I told you 86 yards, it's not like you have a position. You just kind of look at it.
It probably is, but it's like, to me, I'm just thinking like, what is the shortest way I can take this back to hit it 86 yards? So I feel like from whether I take it back to here, here, or here, like this is always going to be the same. It's not I don't want to feel like I'm, I take it back here and I got to like kind of rip it, or it's like I take it back here and decel. It's just, I want from wherever I take it back to be the same kind of like acceleration through the ball. That's just kind of how I've always done my wedges. And I mean, it takes obviously a lot of practice and repetition to kind of get my muscle memory kind of thing to be like this. I couldn't tell you, I could tell you roughly where it is, but like, yeah, if I'm hitting 85 yards with a sand wedge, like I just am trusting I've done that enough that I know I'm going to know it's close to that kind of thing.
And then if you want to vary like height, or you want to bring it down or up, you won't do that with, you do that with setup mostly?
Setup, yeah. I mean, if I want to hit it low, I'll get pretty, I choke. I probably change like where I'm gripping the club more than anybody on tour, I would think, with wedges. I mean, I'll hit wedges grip down to here like no problem, or to me, it's a pretty easy way to change the trajectory in the flight without really having to feel like I do that much. So again, everybody's got a different way of doing it. That's just kind of what's worked for me. But yeah, I mean, you can change ball position, setup, but and just trying to keep it, consistent and simple.
Let's see a little higher one.
Higher one, okay.
So you'll move it up a little?
Yeah, I'd move it up just a touch, not a lot. I mean, if anything, I'd maybe try to finish just to like have my follow through just be a little bit higher.
I feel like people have this misconception about pros with wedges that everything's really high and spinny. But you guys play such fast greens that if you get it spinning like that,
yeah,
you can't control it. I always notice, that's one of the big differences I notice between even good club players and pros is like a lot of times your wedges are a lot
the best
drivier.
I would say the best wedge players are flighted. You want it, you just want to know what it's doing when it gets on the green. I think it's not just can I hit my number, but it's what's it going to do when it lands. Is it going to take a skip and then stop, or is it going to take a skip and then spin, or is it going to just rip? So it sounds, it even to me sounds hard when I'm saying it, but it's what we practice to do. So it's just something that, I guess we're kind of expected to know how to do.
Yeah,
type thing.
It is your job.
Yeah.
We can move up the bag a little if you want.
Yeah.
What club was that?
That was just 56 there, or
and that goes
57.
If you were to hit it,
it's 110 to 115. I mean, I don't hit my wedges full hardly ever.
Right. Maybe
I hate hitting my wedges full so much. Again, just because the ball has a lot of spin, and you'll get the rare occasion of a super firm greens
playing
or
a U.S. Open, a front pin,
downwind, like really downwind, or of something where you need it. But for the most part, I'm avoiding full wedges at all costs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little to the right so I don't look directly into the sun like I was earlier. I'm kind of warming up. I mean, some people, I mean, I'm sure you've seen me do it. I always will kind of start with this like kind of 3-piece drill, where it's like I put a lot of emphasis on kind of getting the club in a good spot here. I feel like it helps the rest of it go together. I mean, if I kind of get it.
There's a tendency to go outside the hands too much?
Yeah, I would say I don't mind outside as long as it's a certain outside. I think like if it's outside this way, I can still get it around me, but like this outside is when it starts kind of getting really like steep.
So you don't like the Ricky, like the...
Yeah, I mean, it theoretically, yes, but I just don't like it because if it gets like this way and closes when it starts getting really steep, and that's when I really have to manipulate a lot versus, I mean, my hands are always very high. They always have been, but it's kind of a checkpoint that if I'm looking at video or something of just like, I want this club, it'll be kind of going through my arm when I'm going back. So the thought and idea is when I'm warming up, kind of always try to feel as much width as I can and get that club in a spot, and then I'll hit a handful. I mean, sometimes I'll hit 3 or 4 of those, and sometimes I'll hit 10 or 12 of them.
Where you pause and then do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it every warm up. I hit balls.
You always been like a relative picker? I notice your divots are extremely shallow and sometimes there's none at all.
Not really. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. There's times where it's weird because it's like I'm steeper when it comes to like angle of attack. Like I'm probably steeper than most, but that doesn't. I think a lot of people correlate steepness to just like divot being really steep, but that's not at all.
If the bottom's where the bottom is, it doesn't matter how you get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've always said if there's ever a golf tournament that requires people to swing like this, everybody is screwed.
You're number one in the world when it comes to pausing.
I think I'm gonna win that one.
Denny McCarthy once told me that if every tournament was played on a like country club golf course, he would be number one in the world.
Country club golf
like
course.
6,800 yards, not that much like trouble, so you can kind of just like skank it out there.
That's the most Denny thing I've ever heard in my life.
And then it's a putting contest. He's like, you get me out there on these country club courses, I'm shooting 61, 62 every day.
Yeah, so are we, Denny.
That's right. That's right. I can do it too.
Denny also thinks that he can he could return a professional tennis serve. He could score on a goalie and a penalty kick. He could score. He can do everything. So,
super Denny.
I love you, Denny.
So I know your dad's been your coach forever, but you've kind of taken more ownership-ish of your golf swing. Do you have like I mean, is your dad still your coach? Like, how does it work on the road?
Yeah, I've worked with Matt Killen like the last probably year-ish.
You've worked with him a lot in the past, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with my dad is that it doesn't matter who I'm working with. Whatever, like I always know, and it always will be the case that if I want to ask my dad a question, like I know that I can and I will. Like that's just, that's just the way that it is. Like there's something to that, but it's still it is. It's for me. I work best when it's almost like it's a consultant kind of thing, right? Like when I'm able to just come out here for a couple hours and kind of go through some stuff and feel it out, I feel like that's kind of when I work best. And then, yeah, obviously, there's plenty of times have stuff that we're working on where it's like whether I'm with Matt or whatever, but it's, yeah, I'm doing and playing my best when I'm going and hitting shots and not getting ate up with the positions and how it looks or whatever. Like I'm just trying to, the ball's doing what I'm wanting it to do. Like I need to buy into that's what's more important versus what it is, kind of thing.
You had these irons in the bag all year?
Or? This model, yeah, I changed at some point just to a fresh. I generally go through one set a year.
of irons.
Yeah.
What about wedges?
Pitching wedge and gap wedge. Yeah, I mean, I've probably gone as long as 2 years with those, but yeah, I'll probably like a year with the pitching wedge and gap wedge. I'll probably go through 3 or 4 sand wedges. I'll probably go through 8 to 10 lob wedges. It's kind of like a stretch. If it's that's probably I mean, it'd be kind of like a once a month-ish. It'd be, you know, like I'll get a new set before Augusta, or before majors I'll get some. I mean, a lot of it is how the course is. If it's soft, then I don't really want new wedges, kind of thing, because the ball's gonna spin too much.
Do you change like the grind and the bounce?
I travel with a T grind and a K grind every week, and I'll generally just use one of those two.
So what's your caddy normally doing during range sessions besides wiping off the clubs? Are you guys talking about the day ahead, talking about the courses plan?
Not really. I mean, he'll watch, always have him kind of check my setup, make sure like everything looks square. You know, my length, I have a tendency to get too long, but he'll just kind of keep an eye on this stuff like casually. But if I need anything, I'll let him know.
You got enough time to talk out there on the golf course.
Yeah. Spend more time with him probably than my wife.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me how much caddy movement there was this year.
Yeah.
Felt like it was every week.
There was a lot. Did you think you were going to get the call at some point? No?
Never thought so. I did caddy in one PGA Tour event once.
How'd that go?
T59.
There we go.
For Matt Fitz.
Where at?
At Pebble Beach. He was, his caddy, Billy, or his old caddy.
Yeah.
He hated the Pebble Beach event. He's like, it's cold, 3 different courses, and the amateurs. He hated how slow it was.
It's slow.
Yeah, so he asked me to caddy one year, and he was T11 going into, it was the year that Nick Taylor beat Phil.
Okay.
It was playing really hard on Sunday, really windy. He was even par for the day through 9, and then he was like in 11th, and I was 23 or 24, so I'm doing all the math in my head, all the stuff that you shouldn't do. Then
Stay in the present, man.
Doubles 10, bogeys 12, triples 13. And it was a pretty quiet 2 hours after that.
Yeah?
Yeah, didn't have much to say.
That was the end of your run?
That was it.
Dang.
How's the body feel?
Tight.
Yeah? Didn't get your full warm-up.
It's all right, though. We're powering through.
You got this. That'll work.
Yeah, I just need to hit downwind like this all the time.
Yeah.
Stay
good for the ego.
Super straight.
Yeah. Now I know with the irons you can move it any which way you want, but with driver you like to see it cut most often.
Yeah. I like to see everything work left to right. I'm definitely more comfortable drawing irons, and I don't like to draw a driver on purpose. It's just not a comfortable shot for me.
Yeah.
But it's
not that many drawers left with the driver.
It just don't spin enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I feel like the way equipment's gone, it kind of go less and less spin, so the draws don't really stay in the air. That's why a lot of people, when they want to draw, they get like a 3-wood that draws. Like my 3-wood is draw biased, so it's like if I have to draw something.
Like 10 at Augusta.
Yeah, I mean, but like that to me, like I'm okay with, because like that's a hook. Like there's a difference to me of like a 13 tee shot or 10 tee shot at Augusta is way more comfortable than 2. Like 2 isn't, like a hook is not, it needs to be like a falling left, like a tight draw, versus like I can hook the piss out of it on 10 and it's fine.
Right.
Or 13, same thing, as long as it starts far enough right. But
so it's the sort of like gentle draws that are a little more
it's like
tough.
how my cut is, just fall this way instead of that way.
Right. Whereas
that's
the hook,
the harder one for me. Yeah. If I can hook it, I just shut it down, and I feel like I can just kind of let it go. But tougher to do that as a draw for me.
Is that the height you like to see?
It's a little lower, just probably because of the wind.
Yeah.
But I don't hit it. I mean, when I first started out, it was pretty one speed, one shot, just tee it high and like hit like 5 up on it and just
send it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll still do that plenty from time to time, but I've just found the more closer to 0, like my attack, you know, kind of like living in that 0 to 2 up. It just is it's a way more consistent strike on the face. I don't get the, once I start hitting way up on it is kind of when I can get the spray gun coming out, as Jason Duffner calls it.
Yeah, we don't like the spray gun.
Mm-mm.
It's a little hotter there. What are your keys with driver? What are you thinking about?
I mean, a lot of it that I've tried to do is simplify it, and just like, if I feel like if I get my setup in a good place and I'm more honed in on the shot I'm trying to hit versus the mechanics of how to do it,
Yeah.
it generally works out better for me.
Get pretty target oriented.
Yeah, target, shot, trajectory, just kind of like that part of it versus kind of getting it. And so, you know, when I'm out here is the time to maybe work on mechanic or positional stuff. But if, you know, if I had a gun to my head out there, I had to hit the fairway, like I would hope I'm not trying to have, like I need to hit the fairway,
yeah,
kind of thing.
This fairway situation is really awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's so great for practice and training.
Will you always finish with the driver on the range, or will you go back down?
I'd say 90% of the time. I'll sometimes hit a couple irons, or I'll hit like a couple little wedges, but there's no like real rhyme or reason. It might just be if there's something or a time where I'm maybe like if I have like a certain feel that maybe isn't kind of going through the bag as well, like I'll after my drivers, I'll come back and hit like a couple 9 irons just to kind of see how that is. But it's normally 3, 4, 5 drivers. And
it's interesting. You're very like kind of, you just feel it out. I feel like some guys, they have like a real set routine that they stick to, but it seems like you leave yourself some wiggle room.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's weird. It's like I mean, I'm very routine oriented, but it's like my own routine. It's like yeah. I mean, there's times, like I said, where, you know, I finished like really late one day, and like I don't necessarily feel like I had time, or I just don't want to go out, like it's a long drive to the range or something where I'm like, and I just want to hit some wedges. I'm like, I don't feel like going out there to hit wedges, whatever. I'll give myself 10 to 12 more minutes in my warm up the next day, and I'll just hit the wedges then.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll make tweaks. It's like the order of when I do everything's the same. It just, I'll just kind of make, yeah, subtle tweaks that I maybe feel like will help me at the time.
Now, if you want to send one.
If I want to send one?
You going a little wider with the stance, or you?
I do, yeah. I mean, I would generally, yeah, I would tee it up a little bit higher, and it'd be, I mean, that's where I'll kind of get my left foot. I'll raise my left heel up, and I feel like I'll slam it into the ground on the way down, and that's the one I'm probably hitting 4 or 5 up on. And, you know, I feel like I can get another 10 or 15 carry out of it. I use it more than I thought I would. I actually hit it pretty solid when I do that, which is fun.
Yeah.
But,
let's see one. It's definitely got some more gas.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually 2 or 3 club speed faster, and I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's kind of one that, again, I just was out hitting balls and messing with one day, and kind of picked up on it, and now I use it a little bit, so it's fun.
Yeah, sweet. All right, well, that's good. That was awesome. Appreciate you walking us through the bag.
Absolutely.
We'll do now we're gonna do a little 9-shot drill.
Okay.
So I know you don't like to turn over drivers, so I imagine this would be something with the irons, 7 iron, 6 iron, whatever you feel like you can kind of move the most.
Okay. Well, I don't want to. Yeah, I'll just go 7 iron. I'll go
7
middle
iron.
of the bag. How's
All
that?
right. So obviously this is the famous Tiger 9-shot drill, and I feel like of all the guys on tour, I feel like you're one of the guys who moves it around the most with the irons.
I like to.
Yeah.
It's I like to know that I can, kind of thing. I would say if it's when I'm hitting my best, I'd say the ball hardly moves, but it's, you know, if I'm not hitting it well, you know, maybe I've had a bad like week's practice, or like I had a terrible warm up, and I'm just like, I gotta just go out and like, I just gotta hit some shots, kind of thing. Like, that's kind of how I work into it.
Cool.
Type
All right.
thing.
So should we start with the low draw?
You tell. Yeah, that's great.
So how do we walk us through the setup for a low draw?
I'm gonna have to. The straight one's gonna be a lot easier.
Straight one will be easier with the wind. Yeah,
I'm happy about that. I'll just kind of go with this palm tree here in the left.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, draw, just I'll put it back in my stance just a touch, and and maybe close up my stance, but it's more of just, again, I'll be aiming a little bit right. I like to always feel like I can cover it and be on top of it, so I don't necessarily like all the time of feeling like I mean, I don't mind swinging to the right, but it's just, I don't need anything to get me going this way.
You can still hit draws without doing that.
Exactly, yeah. So it's, I feel like I'll just put it back in my stance and aim just a touch right, but more to where I can still cover it.
And that'll naturally make your path more in doubt without having to actually change anything.
Yeah.
That'll do. And then just a touch forward for the middle one.
This just a medium draw?
Yeah, medium draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd still would feel it back in my stance a little bit. It just won't be as choked down. I mean, I was pretty choked down on that one. Back in my stance.
Yeah, you do choke down a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one I'll maybe choke a touch, but just more, yeah, back in my stance. Maybe close my stance a little bit.
And then we got to send one high in the air to a back left pin.
It's probably different than how maybe some people would draw it, but if I want to get a little height on it, I mean, I'll probably try to do it more club face. Like trying to draw the other ones, I can close it down a little bit, but obviously you're hitting it high, closing it down. So I almost feel like I'll kind of like preset it. Like I'll just kind of almost feel like my hands are back a little at address. So then it's the same kind of thing. I can feel like I'm still on top of it and it
deliver a little more loft.
Yeah. So yeah, aim a little right. Put it up in my stance, just maybe a touch, but yeah, just kind of set those hands back a touch. It should launch high with a little draw on it.
There it is. All right, then the low straight one. I feel like this is the British Open shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the hard part with the open is you generally have to, the low for sure, but you generally have to curve it hard left or right to get it to stay straight with those crosswinds there.
Yeah.
But similar to the draw, putting it back, but like you mentioned how when you put it back, your path gets that way, so I'll open up a little bit. And yeah, aiming pretty much at the target, and I just, yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of staying on top of it. It's almost gonna feel like a little bit of a cut move because it's back in my stance.
Yeah, those will kind of offset. Nice. Then just standard. This should be the easy one, especially with 20 miles an hour downwind.
Oh, okay. Where's it straight down? I may go a little that way for it to be dead straight. So yeah, it would feel pretty normal. I mean, my ball flight obviously is a little bit of left to right, so if anything, it's gonna feel a little draw. So maybe if I'm trying to hit it dead straight, put it back maybe like a dimple.
Interesting. So you like to keep the golf swing very consistent and change little things with the setup is kind of the spark notes.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so.
And then you want to throw one high up in the air.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd say a high dead straight one's going to be one of the probably the hardest one to hit. But yeah, I'm more probably not changing a whole lot. I just maybe try to get my finish a little higher. Put it just maybe a touch up in my stance.
Nice. And the low cut, this is the British Open shot then.
Yeah, so same as the other ones, I just will really feel open. I mean, my feet will be way left and I'll be aiming to touch left and really just kind of swinging left and holding that club face off.
I like that one. I like that one. I feel like you can play that shot whether your swing feels good, your swing feels bad.
A cut is one, yeah, I feel like if the worse and worse I'm hitting it, probably the more I just try to cut it. I always feel like I can always slap across it and I just have to guess the start line and the finish line kind of thing. So I'd say this will be the most comfortable for me.
Yeah, mid-height cut.
I'd aim just left of that tree.
Nice.
Cut.
It's trying.
It's all right.
And then
take
the
it
last
to
one, the
some-
high soft cut. I feel like it's a U.S. Open shot. You know, you got to hold a firm green.
Yeah, it'd be very similar to the high straight. I'd probably just open my stance up a little bit, like I feel like a pretty normal swing. And I'd just finish just have my feet aimed a little bit further left. Just have that high finish for a nice high cut.
Nice. Beautiful. Awesome. That's not as easy as you made it look. That's it. Success.
Thanks, dude.
Good stuff, my friend.
Yeah,
appreciate it.